Guitar Swing remix by Wolfgang Lohr. And, try saying that 10 times fast, jeez. Now, the first thing that I want to get into today, before literally anything else, are the topics of misinformation and miscommunication. Some press entities use these as their bread and butter. Looking at you over there, Ministry of Truth. To me, however, they're enemies, more hated and vile than any Terminid strain, and deserve to be squashed in the same way. And to that end, I have come prepared for class with visual aids. This whole thing serves as the basis for the DMCA claim against the Chaos Divers, this little skull thingy over here. When I said that I knew the artist who did the modification, this is the context of that, and I hope to sweet and sour liberty that I am finally describing all of this correctly. Is it the same logo? Is there really a copyright claim with teeth here? Is red and black overused as the factory default edgelord pattern? I am not nearly a smart enough person to answer all of these questions. No, really, I get into a fair amount of trouble over this kind of thing because I am very autistic, very blonde, and possess an overdeveloped sense of justice that I keep being told is going to get me into trouble someday. I will say, though, that having someone contribute to an organization, you have a falling out with said person, and then they come back at you with the legal authority to torpedo your entire fan community because you were gullible enough to trust them at any point in your life, that is not a world that I am interested in living in. And considering that this logo stuff is by far the least messed up portion of what happened yesterday, for once, dear listeners, I am truly not sure what to say. Well, beyond the fact that I am just well and truly done talking about boring lawyers, copyright, and who owns which art asset. If you have a dispute with another Helldiver, I personally feel that you two should get into Hellpods and hash out your differences like civilized people, killing each other without the aid of rock, sword, iocane powder, or even giants adept at rhyme. Or you can do something more productive. Have a kill tally competition between yourselves. See who can dish out the most democracy to a Terminid hive on some liberty-forsaken planet and let the democratic gods determine who is right and just. Now then, the morning news. Crimsica is just barely scraping by in accordance with its timetable, with a projection of 100.26% by the time the deadline falls, which is cutting it close. However, there is a problem in that the site of the original Tyranny Park, Acamar IV, has just been subjected to a Terminid spore fall event, and guess who? It's the fluffing predator strain. That's just great. The situation on Acamar has further split the Liberation fleet, which could mean bad news for Crimsica if too many attempt to respond to this undemocratic incursion. At a level 35 STC, it is somewhat unlikely that Acamar is going to be able to hold out anyway, so my expert opinion, let's stay focused on Crimsica for now, and see what advantage this Easton 10 farm buys us. Minor orders like this always bring something beneficial to the war table. Aside from that, High Command is still complaining that we're not bagging enough chargers, which, gang, yeah, you're right, you really should get on that, Helldivers. At the very least, you can donate more charger legs for Volta 2 to make some lunch with. But everything else about the current major order looks great, with Impalers, Bile Titans, and rare samples being completely satisfied. Now just secure Boar Rock, grab Crimsica while you're at it, slam back a Strawberry Thermite special, cram some regular Thermite between some charger cheeks, and we're gonna go ahead and call this a day. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandera the Radio Angel, and isn't this all just a fun little bug hunt? It's got a little something for everybody. Big bugs, little bugs, cloaking bugs, even the Spore Burst strain on Pandion for those of you who enjoy popping Terminid pimples with democratic laser pointers, which I have to admit is strangely satisfying. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for the preservation of Angel's Refuge.